And welcome back to another CBB Talk with your boy Will Dickinson. Let's go. Episode right here on the Monday. I don't know what's 5 o'clock. It's still the afternoon, I guess. And but what my dog already interrupting this episode. Wow, what a weekend college basketball. You see the title of this video. It is Big 12 chaos, or two teams and now are maybe the best two in the Big 12. I don't know what to call this episode, but there's been some teams. The Big 12 is all over the place right here. We got to talk about it, and we got to talk about all the crazy results, news from this weekend. I might do something new here where I might start share my screen. I got a request to do it in this episode, so I'm gonna post this episode and I'm gonna get some reviews from it. And if they like it, they like it. I might not do this every episode, but especially when I'm going over results, I like to show what I'm looking at, what I see. I use CBS Sports and I just go through games, but if it's an interesting result, I will share my screen. And yeah, I think that's something that could be good. I've done it before, obviously, when I did my awards from last year, all that. It just takes longer to process and upload the videos, so I don't do it all the time, but I'm gonna do it in this one, see how it looks and feels. And I kind of just like, because when I guess what the visual aspect is, you don't have to, I guess on YouTube only you have to have it up, but you can just be listening to it and not even see my face. But visual aspect, you can watch it. It might be more, easier to watch, more interactive, I guess, and more visual. If you look away for a second, you'll still know what I'm saying. But here, which just start in, I'll share my screen once I find something good. Like, I'm not gonna share my screen. Houston, we're just gonna go. We always go in chronological order here, starting on Saturday. I don't know if anything happened really interesting on Friday. Besides Wisconsin being Michigan State, that was the only thing. I got Wisconsin up to number 7th in the poll. They're 6th in the AP poll that just came out. Wisconsin plays Purdue on Sunday. This weekend is, I mean, when we get to the Friday episode, um, it's the best weekend of college basketball coming up. It's gonna be great. But Wisconsin's looks super good. AJ Store is just a game changer for the Badgers. He had a really good one. Saturday, we had Houston. Let's start with Saturday, of course. Houston took down Kansas State, made it look easy there. The Cougars are rolling right now. That's 4 in a row in the Big 12 here. I can't move them up. They probably are better than the fifth best team in the country. I have them at the fifth because the other top four teams keep on winning. Houston's look really good. A great second half from Jamal Shed. Did he cover? Did he hit the over his points, assists, rebounds? No, because he get no rebounds. But 17, this one, most of them in the second half there. Houston rolls. Their defense looks like, honestly, one of the best defenses. They probably have the best defense in the country. They're number one in most of the computers. The Cougars are rolling right now in the Big 12. They're the favorite in Big 12 there. That's already one Big 12 team. Kansas State now, 3 losses in a row. Again, this is going to be a bubble team. A lot of the Big 12 teams kind of will be on that. I'm going to lean towards not making the tournament for Kansas State, but we'll see. Houston, they're the favorites, no doubt. Are they first in the Big 12? No. They do have those 2 losses back-to-back to Iowa State, which we'll get to in a little bit, and TCU, which we'll get to in a little bit. But respectable 18-2, 2 losses in conference. And they've been playing really well of recent. Maryland destroys Nebraska. Maryland trending in the right direction there. Julian Reese had 15 and 16. That hit the duo of him and Jameer Young looked good. Maryland starts the year off really bad. They've been playing great basketball ever since. Maybe they can contend in the Big Ten. Florida's trending in the right direction. Got an OT win over Georgia. RJ Melendez had a really game 35, not enough for the Bulldogs there. Florida and Mississippi State, who got a nice win over the weekend. We can talk about that in a little bit. Both these teams kind of going under the radar could backdoor teams into the tournament here who can be dangerous. We saw that Florida Kentucky game earlier this year, which was really good. And that one could become that those two teams could become tournament teams and teams sleeper teams. All right, so here's I'm sharing the screen here. So here's the look. I don't know if you can see my face or not, whatever, but here is what the first game we're going to be sharing the screen is. It was this one, Providence versus Georgetown. What a game we had here. And the real story was Ed Cooley returning to Providence to take on will take on the Friars and his former team. It was an electric atmosphere out there in the dunk. Two teams that are just in different spaces. Obviously, okay, I'm not playing this ad. Georgetown struggling this year, 8-12, clearly not a tournament team. Providence playing better basketball recently. Of course, they've lost their best player, Bryce Hopkins, for the year, but there still can be a tournament team. They've been playing better recently. I think they're on a 3-game win streak after losing some games after that injury. And man, this was a ruckus environment. We had a lot of, the fans, of course, heckling Ed Cooley, a lot of chants going on. At the end of the day, it wasn't too bad. They kept it, of course they're going to say the fuck Ed Cooley, but they didn't go too far. Providence ends up getting a big win. Dev Carter with a windmill dunk to seal the deal, 29 this one. It's got to feel good to see Providence in their spot they are. Those fans really, they loved Ed Cooley when he was there. But you're a legend there. You leave your hometown, your I'm pretty sure alma mater, and you go to Georgetown. It's not going to be a pretty sight, and they showed it there. A really good win for Providence. Georgetown kept it close there. Jay Epps had really a game. Look at that, 26 points for Jay Epps. Dev Carr 29, Arduro 22. Providence playing better basketball, man. I really wish B Hop didn't get hurt because I think this Providence team would have been a contender in the Big East. But they can still make the tournament, and they've shown that they've been playing much better basketball recently. And man, what an environment that was. It was a ruckus environment, but nonetheless, Providence gets a win there in Ed Cooley's return. It was electric in the dunk. One of the best atmospheres all of college basketball. A place that I want to go see a game one day. The dunk is probably the best environment in the Big East, if I'm being honest. South Carolina takes down Missouri. South Carolina didn't get in the AP poll. They're just out of my poll. They're the first team out. I have Northwestern over them, but they're playing really good basketball there. Got a win over Missouri over the weekend there. Seton Hall, oof, not looking good. They dropped down to 13-8. They have now lost 2 or 3 games in a row. Marquette trending back in the right direction there. Oso Godaro had a big game. David Joplin, Tyler Kula, Cam Jones both struggle. It didn't matter. What a second half. They end up getting an 18-point win. Marquette, they're back into that second best team in the Big East. I think that's right now pretty comfortable. The Big East looking weird, right? You obviously have UConn, Marquette, Creighton. Who's that 4th team in the Big East? We don't know right now. Maybe it is Providence. Maybe it is St. John's. Butler looks decent right now, but those two teams, it looks like those 3 teams are the clear favorites. And Marquette playing great basketball right now, and they're getting back up to those preseason expectations after struggling. The next big game was, of course, Kansas versus Iowa State, man. What a ball game between these two teams. Hilton Magic delivers again. Iowa State Iowa State beat Kansas. They were favorites in this game. Kansas now drops to 4-3 in the Big 12 there. They're on a 2-game skid. And the problem for Kansas has been all year is look at this right here. Look at this. 2 bench points from Kansas. It's been the moral of this team. It's been whatever. The moral of the story for Kansas has been they have no production. They're really a 2-man team. Johnny Furphy's really stepped up and has been good, the freshman. 35 in this one. But look, KJ Adams got in foul trouble. They had to go to Peter Braun, who put up 2 points, but Nick Timberlake, really nothing. Elmarco Jackson, nothing. The 5-star freshman, got nothing. Hunter Dickinson, pretty good game there. Struggled from 3, but good game. Kevin McCullough really gave you nothing until the end of the game there. And Iowa State is one of the most underrated teams in the country. They've been playing obviously great recently, but they had great computer numbers earlier into the year without the victories, or at least the notable wins to live up to that. They've got them now in the Big 12. They're 16-4. They are 1 game back of the lead of the conference. They've won games on the road, and at home, they're unbeatable. They're 13-0 this year. Hilton Coliseum, one of the best places in college basketball to see a game there. Trade King, 21-9 this one. Tan Lipsey, one of the most underrated guards in the country. Gilbert 16, huge game there. Iowa State's rolling. Let's take a look at that top 25. Iowa State into the top 10. Below Kansas, yes, below Kansas. Kansas has some really good wins. I still believe in Kansas. It's Bill Self, but this is not their strongest team, and they lack depth. And this far into the season, you're not going to get any more depth. So at the end of the day, you have to try to find places to put these players in to succeed. Because right now, you're getting nothing off the bench. We saw KJ Adams get in foul trouble. They struggled really to find anyone else. Iowa State, man, they're the real deal. And can they be the second best team in the Big 12? Because I think Houston is the best team in the Big 12. But we got Kansas, Iowa State, Texas Tech, TCU, Baylor. These are all really good. The Big 12, man, just delivers. It's amazing. The Big 12 is amazing, guys. If you're new to college basketball, I'll tell you right now, the Big 12 is amazing. I'm so disappointed in this one. Princeton lost to Cornell by 15. Cornell is now 4-0 or whatever. They're undefeated in conference play along with Yale. Princeton drops their second game of the year. Princeton could have gotten my top 25 with a win there. They didn't. Shout out to Cornell. BYU takes down Texas there. Not really a shocking result. BYU playing better basketball. I don't have BYU ranked at the moment. They're one of my first teams out. But the big story coming from this game was another horns down allegation. I'm tired of these allegations. This is all I got to say to Texas fans out there. Ready? All I got to say. I'm taking a screenshot of this. Horns, I'm tired. I'm tired of this. This is absolutely getting outrageous. BYU fans were wearing those horns down. Each person had a letter, blah, 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 lined up in the right order. They were asked to take it down. They did. BYU, why are you asking them to take them down? Horns down. They're acting like horns down is offensive. They're acting like it's like a slur. If you're allowed to go like this, you're allowed to definitely go like this too. It's a bullshit thing that's going on. Texas, you're soft. I'm sorry. You're pussies. I don't care. So if you're a kid, watch this. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. Texas pissing me off. BYU got a big win, and I don't like BYU. I'm not a BYU guy. But I'm glad they won this game. Texas deserves it. They gotta toughen up out there in Austin because what's going on is just not right. It's just not right. Good game from Jackson Robinson, had 17 there. Texas takes an L. I think Texas will end up being a tournament team. They're playing better basketball. They were on a 2-game little streak. They dropped one. BYU, after going through a rough patch, playing better basketball, no doubt, and they can contend the Big 12. The Big 12, again, continues to deliver because we have another big 12 game. We have another Big 12 game to talk about. Texas Tech, Oklahoma. What a game this was. Texas Tech. What did I say on the episode on Friday? I believe I said I think Texas Tech will go on the road and get a win, which is very hard to predict, especially in the Big 12 because most teams don't get road wins in the Big 12. I like this Texas Tech team. Pop Isaac's 18 points there. Joe Toussaint, who's been in college for forever, 14. Washington the Big, such a great rim protector there. Kerman Walton. And then, I mean, you get McMillan off the bench having 27, having a career game. And that's what you need. And this is why I like Texas Tech. They have bench production here. But while, yes, the rest of their bench only played 11 minutes, you get 27 off the bench here. Texas Tech is really good. Grant McCasland is going to be up there for Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year. The job he's done, no one expected Texas Tech to be this good in his first year there, and they are. I've shared my concerns with Oklahoma in the past, and they continue to come up to fruition. They're just not as good as the way they started the season. They played a weaker schedule. They won their games they were supposed to, but now in Big 12 play, they've now dropped 4 games in the Big 12. And yes, it's the Big 12. It's hard, but you got to win home games out there against teams that are around the same skill as you, and you couldn't do it. It's just because I don't think they have a guy that can be that number one. They got a lot of good players, but your boy Javon McCollum, who's been really their best player, 7 in this one, was inefficient there. Owe had 14, Uzan had 13. But I don't think they have a guy over there in Oklahoma. And yes, they're going to be a tournament team. Right now, they're probably going to be if the tournament started, they'd be a 5 seed, 6 seed, and they'll probably end up being like a 7-8. Texas Tech, I like the way they're trending up. I'm not sure if this team can contend to win the Big 12, even though right now that's the team that's in first place in the Big 12 is Texas Tech. But Grant McCaslin's done an amazing job. I like this Texas Tech team. They defend, but now they show um, an extra gear they can get into on offensively. 85 in this one. Big game. Shout out to the Red Raiders for getting a win. UNC beat Florida State. UNC got tested there, but RJ Davis silenced Florida State there. He's going to be a first-team All-American. Carolina keeps rolling. You're ranked third in the nation for a reason there. You got to see if and then, of course, they got a big game coming on Saturday, but if you win that one, man, you might move up. You might move up. It just obviously depends on what else happens. Illinois survived a close one against Indiana there. It wasn't pretty, but Marcus Domask had a double-double. Indiana's just not a good team. I talked about Butler. Butler beat Villanova. Villanova's on I think a 4-game slide right now. They lost in overtime, but Kyle Neptune might not be. I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's the guy. He looking like he's not the guy to replace Jay Wright. And right now Villanova has amazing wins, but they have a lot of losses, and they're gonna have to start winning games because right now it's looking like Villanova could be on the wrong side of the bubble this year and miss the tournament once again. Yeah, Mississippi State beat Auburn at home in Starkville. A big win. Hubbard. This Mississippi State team again made the tournament last year. Really returned everyone, and they lost Tulo Smith at the beginning of the season, or I mean for the beginning of the season. He's now back, and they were a preseason top 25 team, and then they ended up losing some games, and then they've been up and down the SEC play. But it's a big win. Auburn is a team I'm concerned about. I've dropped them to 16th in the nation here. And it's based on the fact they have great computer numbers and they've looked good. They went on a huge win streak, but now they have 0 quad 1 wins. This far in the season is concerning here. And they gotta start getting them. They're gonna have some tests. I think they can get one this weekend against Ole Miss. They're gonna need it because I think they play Vanderbilt and Ole Miss in their next 2 games. Gotta go 2-0 this week to prove you're legit because Ole Miss may actually be legit. Everyone was saying Ole Miss is not. They got a good win. They did get a good win. Chris Beard's team is no easy feat to beat, and Auburn yet to be a really good team this year. Duke survives against Clemson. Controversial game. Tyrese Proctor got fouled at the end of the game. I didn't love the call. I mean, I'm wearing a Clemson shirt. I'm not a Clemson fan. I'm just wearing a Clemson shirt. I didn't think it was a foul. I don't like that call at the end of the game. But at the end of the day, it wasn't outrageous where I'm going to be super mad at it. It was a 50-50 call. They called on Duke. Yes, it's convenient. Duke gets a lot of calls, right? It's just a matter of the fact they're at home. Rest short. Usually lean of calling fouls for the home team. It's what happened there. Jared McCain, man, he's been such a surprise to me. Obviously, I know Jared a lot. I'm a big Jared fan, just from his high school days. Obviously, a big on social media guy. Followed him throughout high school in Centennial in California. Now he's came over to the East Coast in Duke, and I was questionable how his game was going to translate. It's translated. He's an amazing shooter. 21 in this one. I don't know if he'll be a one-and-done player, but he can shoot like one. He's got to be able to be more of a lead ball handler because of his size. But if he can stay in college, it'll be great because he's such a good player. 21 this one for Jared. Tyrese Proctor's starting playing a lot better. And Duke has a game tonight against Virginia Tech, which is a challenge. Colorado State absolutely choked a game against Wyoming. They were up like 11 with like a minute left and lost. You can watch it back if you want. It's bad. It went to overtime. Wyoming pulls out. Colorado State, you're not in my top 25. You dropped out. I think you guys were already out. They now have lost, I believe, 4 games in conference. They're games back of the top of the Mount West, and right now, that team that we thought for sure would be an NCAA tournament team, it's dropped back. They've lost some games now, and they've got to start picking it up because they started out really good non-con. Isaiah Stevens has got to start picking up the slack here and be that guy for Colorado State because right now they're really struggling and if they keep this up, they're gonna be a double-digit seed in the NCAA tournament, which you don't want to be. TCU Baylor, what a game. And since it's a Big 12 game, we might as well share our screen for this one because, gosh, what a game it was. Triple overtime thriller. TCU goes on the road and wins. Baylor's now dropped, I believe, 3 in a row. It's the Big 12. Look, it's going to happen. Not to every team, but to a couple teams this year. You're going to lose 3 games in a row, 2 games in a row, 3 out of 4 games. It just happens. It's the nature of this conference here. But man, what a back and forth one there. Yves Missy, he was the star freshman this one. Jacoby Walter really struggles, 2 for 12 from the field there. Emmanuel Miller, 21. Mike Peavy, 18. Tennyson, 16. But look at this guy off the bench. Son of Jameer Nelson Jr., 30 in this one. The Delaware transfer really stepped it up in this one. Big fan of TCU. I got TCU now above Baylor in the rankings. Baylor at 24, TCU at 23. I've had TCU already ranked before, and I really like this team because they're so experienced. Look, Chuck O'Bannon is a guy who was starting last year for this team. I mean, Uday was at Kansas. Anderson has made NCAA tournament at Oklahoma State. PV, Miller, all on these teams last year. I'm not actually sure where Tennyson came from, but Jameer Nelson, Delaware transfer, was in the NCAA tournament. Coles, Cork, these guys were on the team last year. This is such an experienced team, a team with good chemistry. Has played together a lot of years, and they've added in these pieces. I've really liked this TCU team, and I think Baylor's still going to be good, but I'm fading them at the moment. They're young, and this is not the most talented group here. It's a new group that hadn't played a lot of minutes together. Not a lot of returning players, and it's showing right now. But they've gone through a tough stretch in the schedule, and it's the Big 12. So if they can start getting back, hopefully they'll get some easier games. I'm not sure what their upcoming schedule is, but if you can get a West Virginia, if you can get a UCF or an Oklahoma State, maybe in this next game, you hopefully can bounce back and start getting on the right track. I'm not too worried about Baylor. They're going to be an NCAA tournament team, but I don't know how elite they are. Utah State beat Boise State on the road. Shout out to the Aggies. An OT win over the Broncos. I didn't see this one coming at all. Utah State's legit. I got them 14th in the nation here. This team is 18-2. They're going to be right now. They'd probably be a four seed in the NCAA tournament. They are just that. They're that good. I mean, what they've done. This team had 0 minutes together going in, and what they've done is remarkable. It's very impressive. Coach of the year, no doubt, he'll be in discussion there. Boise State, look, they're going to be the Mountain West is so hard to predict where these teams stack up. I have 2 favorites in this conference. It's also New Mexico, who got a really good win last night against Nevada. Utah State, man, really good win, 18-2. This team came out of nowhere this year, and they've been one of the best teams in the whole nation. Washington State, watch out for them. They had an impressive 2-0 week this week. I think wins over Utah and Colorado. They did it. Washington State, I mean, the Pac-12 was weak. We saw what Arizona did to Oregon, but watch out. Yeah, Caleb Love had 36 against Oregon. Shout out to Caleb Love. Him and RJ Davis both had big games on Saturday. It's good to see this former duo both playing good at their respective schools. Arizona bounce back win, avoids going 0-2 on the week there, and their first win at Oregon since 2015. That's impressive there. Caleb Love got the job done. Oregon, after a good start, they've dropped off there. I got Arizona still a little low. I got them at 17, man. They're too inconsistent for me. Their potential is way higher, though, and I understand that. I got Arizona at its floor right now. It's only up for the Wildcats. Dayton takes their first loss to Richmond, and I got some crazy Richmond stats for you that I heard today. Richmond hasn't won 10 games in a row since the 1930s, which is absolutely insane. This Richmond team's made a couple NCAA tournaments. They've never started 7-0 in a conference play, and the Spiders will get an AP ranked win. I can't remember since the first time, but it's been a while. And I think this is good for the A10. The A10 could have potential 2 NCAA tournament teams here. Richmond's red hot at the moment. A team that made the NCAA tournament route, I think 2 years ago. They're back. I have them in consideration to be ranked here. They're right now on top of the A10. Dayton drops their first one. I'm not too worried about Dayton. Deron Holmes didn't have a great game. But look, for the A10, what you're going to need is both these teams to not lose many games. Rest of the way, maybe Dayton lose. I think Dayton can lose one or two more. Same with Richmond. Hopefully, and it would probably be Richmond winning the AQ and Dayton losing the championship, and they both make it. So this could be good for the A10. Shout to Richmond, man. This could be one of the best years in Richmond history. And the Spiders, look at them. Good win there, and I dropped Dayton to 15th in my rankings. I still like Dayton a lot. Tennessee road win over Vanderbilt. Dalton Connect is going to be my first team All-American has 3 guys for sure. RJ Davis, Dalton Connect, and Zach Edey. The other 2, I'm not sure right now, but those 3 no doubt will be on there. Dalton Connect is just he's going crazy. Game day was in Arkansas. It didn't matter. No Rob Dillingham. No problem. Kentucky wins. Antonio Reeves, one of the most underrated players in the country, 24 in this one. With a team that's headlined by all these freshmen, the veteran Antonio Reeves has led the way for Kentucky. He averages almost 20 points a game. It has similar stats to Connect, but Connect has been going in nuclear recently. Syracuse, another win. I like Syracuse. I call them a dark horse team to make an NCAA tournament, and right now they could be trending in that way. Cincinnati got a good bounce back win there. After I think Jay dropped 2 in a row, got a good win. USC is the worst team in the Pac-12. Ole Miss got a road win against A&M. A&M, not a tournament team, I guess. Maybe Ole Miss is. Wade Taylor at 30. It wasn't enough. Ole Miss could be a tournament team. Chris Beard doing a job. But I have them out of the rankings because Northwestern won by 25 over Ohio State at home. Boo Buie, 19. Northwestern has big wins this year over Purdue and over Illinois. And I got them ranked. I believe I'm having the last team in my rankings at 25. The Big Ten, I got Northwestern at 25. Illinois at 11, Wisconsin at 7, and Purdue at 2. 4 teams for the Big Ten. And then Utah lost again. They're out. They're probably gonna be out of the tournament. Gonzaga only won against 9 against Pacific, who scored 28 against St. Mary's. So I don't know what to say. And St. Mary's won again. I believe these 2 teams meet this week. I'm dying. Need some water. And then Sunday, there wasn't really. Memphis lost again. Memphis went from a top 10 team to potentially going to be a non-tournament team quickly. I don't know what's going on over there. I do not know what's going on over there. And then the week slate, I guess we can share it. Let's just share my screen for the upcoming games because why not? Duke versus Virginia Tech's an interesting one. 3 points. You see the spread. Virginia Tech's but Duke struggled in that building recently, and it's not an easy place to play in Blacksburg there. I got Tyrese Proctor over, so rooting for him. And then Houston versus Texas in the late game on ESPN. You know what I got to say that one? Horns down. Houston at Texas. I think Houston's the better team. Look, 5 points at home is a lot in the Big 12 there. I think Texas can keep this close there. I got Jamal Shedd to go under on his rebounds and assists. So if you get rebounds this game, Jamal Shedd, I'm coming for you. And I have do I have Max Abmas over in this one? I think I do. So I'll root for Texas. I'll root for Texas in this one. No, I can't. Horns down. I cannot root for Texas. And then I think there's a lot of good games on Tuesday. I was checking it earlier while I was in school. I was checking the schedule. I was like, ooh, interesting Tuesday slot. Look at this game. South Carolina, Tennessee. Big one there. If South Carolina wins this, they're going to get in my rankings. Like, no doubt. I think Tennessee's going to win. 13, I think, is too much. I do think 13 is too much there. South Carolina is a very respectable team. Got probably an NCAA tournament team this year, but Tennessee's been different. I got them 4th in the nation there. The rankings got them 5th because they moved Houston above them. Illinois is on the road against Ohio State. 3 might be too small of a number. Illinois has been playing great since Terrence Shands came back. I think this is the game he turns it around here, and they'll get a road win. Marquette versus Villanova is a pick'em. What? Villanova has been bad this year, or bad recently. Marquette's not been bad recently. I like Marquette in that one, but Villanova needs a win probably badly more than any team in the nation. If you can win this game, that resets kind of the season, and you can start. You probably still be a tournament team, even though with 9 losses. But they can really only lose 3 more. Teams usually don't make it with double-digit losses. 10 would be a lot. 11 would be a lot. Villanova has so many great wins, though. They have wins over UNC, Texas Tech. That Memphis one doesn't look great anymore, but they have very respectable wins. Look at this game. I mean, this is a ranked showdown. This is the 15 versus 25. In the books, it's a 23 versus 18 in mine. So honestly, pretty similar. Ranked or ranked matchup here at TCU. Can Texas Tech go on the road, go and win 2 straight road games? Yeah, I'm pretty good at predicting these. I'm gonna say no. I think TCU wins this. I just like this TCU team. They don't have a Mike Miles type guy, but they have a great team. UNC on the road should get a win here. Oklahoma has to go on the road. Oklahoma, you have one last chance to prove that you're ranked. I mean, the AP poll still sucks up to Oklahoma. I don't see why. Kansas State win a home game. This is a game Kansas State actually really needs to win. These are games you gotta win if you want to be in the NCAA tournament. The Battle of Mississippi, that actually is going to be good. The 2 teams that will be in the similar spot, I believe, when it comes to Selection Sunday. Obviously, Ole Miss is in a better spot right now, but you got to win the Battle of Mississippi. And then Miami, North Carolina State. Miami, how good are you? I'm not sure. And then look at this Mountain West affair. That's a very, very good one. San Diego State, Colorado State. Colorado State needing a win here. I'm saying a lot of teams need wins, but Colorado State does. They've not been great in Mount West play, and San Diego State is no easy team to play against. I think I have San Diego State 22nd in the nation here. So yeah, you gotta look at my poll here. I'll put it in the description below. That's the episode. I hope let me know if you'd like to share screens there. I'm gonna get some feedback from the people that I know that watch it and see what they think. It may be a permanent segment. It may not. But thanks for watching, guys. Go watch some college hoops tonight. You don't have to watch. But I recommend watching on Tuesday. And yeah, and what I'm betting on is Underdog. I'm 18. I can bet on Underdog. It's a great website. Give me a sponsor. Not sponsored, but give me a sponsor. All right, I'm joking. Well, not really with the sponsorship. All right, peace.